we're not playing well. We're not playing well as individuals. We're not playing well as a team. We're not coaching it well. All the way around. Not scoring enough on offense, not stopping them enough on defense. And this is as a result, we have to wear this on our sleeves. They got to be grown men. We're going to see what we're made of, how many people can handle adversity. And this is about as dark as it's going to be right now.
I know we talked about execution the other day, and it still comes up. I think we just all have to do our job better. So there's no easy way about it. It's, they're trying to keep us from doing our job. We're trying to do it, and they're doing a better job than we are. It's anytime you score 3 points, that pretty much sums it up. No one feels good about where we're at. No one feels good about how we played or what we're doing. So we're all in it together, man. We got to go pull ourselves out of it.
Yeah, and you can say that, but how do you do it? And I couldn't help think back, Miles, to Bruce Arians when he decided that he was going to step aside for Todd Bowles because he didn't want to wait until next year and give Todd Bowles a mess. Well, yeah, thanks, Bruce. Thanks. Because if next year was a mess, I'd hate to see what this year is supposed to be called. And to put a guy in a position where the expectations are ridiculously high, with a starting quarterback who was already out, and then just decides whether it was pride, whether it was ego, whether it was whatever, I'm unable to force myself out of the spotlight. I need someone to do it for me, and there's no one who can do it for me, so I'm going to come back and play even though I'm not fully committed. The recipe for disaster. And they're still 3-4, and the NFC is still wide open. And and this could be the catalyst, Miles, for them to turn it around. Because, God forbid the rest of us point out that the ship is sinking, because the guys who are on the sinking ship will now take offense to the fair observations made by those of us on the shore that say, hey, that ship's sinking, and they'll get mad at us for pointing it out. But whatever it takes, we know that game. I just don't know that Tom Brady's got the will to play that game anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, we can say the ship is sinking, and then they're just going to say, fire the cannons at us. But they only fire the cannons when they score touchdowns, and they're not scoring touchdowns. So whatever. I don't know.
Maybe it's sinking because of all the cannonballs that they can't fire. Those cannonballs are heavy.
Yeah, exactly. They're weighing the ship down somehow. Yeah, it's like I said, it's not a good vibe. I don't know at what point we start looking at Todd Bowles and, Byron Leftwich and being like, guys, what's going on? I mean, there's a lot of continuity that is still there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where it's like, I don't understand it. And I guess a lot of that has to stem from Tom Brady and whether or not he's all in, whether or not he can make the commitment and all these different types of things. And I agree with sort of that mentality of thinking about it. But at the same time, it's not like Todd Bowles was handed the keys to a Ferrari. I wouldn't say that. I mean, let's call it an Audi S5. That's probably what he was given the keys of the car to. And now the S5 is like, they've curbed the wheel. It's like we've run over a pile of nails. And it's like, dude, what you do to the car? What happened here? And like I said, I don't really think it all falls on Todd Bowles, but there's some stuff there with coaching, and like the defense is not as good as it needs to be. So I don't know. It's just like I said, the whole vibe right now is just off with the Bucs. It's just off.
Well, you got a lot of guys on that team that won their Super Bowl rings, and there's a level of satisfaction that seeps in. And there's also just that sense of you get to that. What happened yesterday, a microcosm for the season. Yesterday, the drop by Mike Evans early, it's not our day. 7 weeks in, it's not our year. Just not our year. At a certain point, you start thinking about how many games we have left. What am I going to do in the offseason? Where am I going to be next year when Tom's not here? Where's the team going to be next year? Will I even want to be part of it? Will they want me to be part of it? Why did I sign that contract extension? Maybe I can get out of here if I start making enough noise like some of these other players have managed to force their way out because of Mike Tomlin's phrase, we want volunteers, not hostages. More and more teams seem to be adopting that. There's just all kind of thoughts that start to ricochet around in the minds of a player who starts thinking, we're either not going to make the playoffs or we're going to make the playoffs and we're going to get stomped. So why go through that experience? Let's just get through these next 10 games and get the hell out of here and get ready for whatever the next phase is. I don't know. Thursday night is going to be a test because Thursday night, Miles, is when your basic raw pride as a football player is put on the line. Because the nation wasn't watching that debacle yesterday against the Panthers. That wasn't a standalone game.
Right. Nobody
just
saw
like,
that.
Right. So what are the Bucs going to be? Are they going to be like the Broncos? Are we going to be reacting to Tom Brady the way we've reacted to Russell Wilson 4 times so far this year? Tom Brady has benefited from the fact that some of his worst performances this year have happened when no one was watching. Yeah. Everyone's going to be watching. I mean, this is it. This is the ultimate test. And they have, as of right now, 3 days to turn it around. 3 days. They had to travel back from Carolina. Fortunately, not a cross-country trip. They're home for this game. They got some things working in their favor. But this is it. And we'll see how much Brady and these other players truly give a crap at this point. We'll find out. And you got a Ravens team coming in that's starting to find their groove a little bit, and they're feeling good about themselves. It's going to be a hell of a – I'm telling you, Thursday night football, for a variety of reasons, fascinating to watch because it could be not the beginning of the end, the middle of the end, or the ending of the end for the Brady Buccaneers.
Oh, right, but they are still in first place in the NFC South, and I feel like that's still kind of important to note. Because who knows what's really going to happen with the Falcons. I thought the Falcons would look a lot better than they did yesterday against the Cincinnati Bengals based on the way they've been playing. And they didn't. They came out and they really peed down their leg yesterday. So it's not like the NFC South is all of a sudden completely up for grabs if the Buccaneers just right the ship. I mean, there are definitely ways that they can right the ship. They still have Tom Brady. They still have all that experience. They still have good coaches. They still got good players. So things are not completely over there. It's just, like I said, the vibe doesn't feel right. The way you're looking at guys and the body language that they have on the sidelines, it doesn't look great. I mean, the fact that Mike Evans said the light went off, that really doesn't feel great. But again, they still should be the favorites, at least in my mind, to win that division. And whether or not that means that they go far into the postseason, who knows? But they should at least get themselves right in some way over the course of the next few weeks. And I don't know if that get right game, proverbially is going to come against the Baltimore Ravens team. But at the same time, you have those 10 days after you play them to sort of figure some things out within yourself. And I really think that the Buccaneers have to do that. And I feel like, and I guess this is just the legend of Tom Brady, that they will, even though right now they just kind of stink.
And you're right. Look, it would be premature to bury them at this point. It's stunning they are where they are, but it doesn't mean it's over. The division is theirs for the taking, although now you got to worry about the Panthers, who were significantly better than you yesterday. Oh, I don't know. At least for yesterday, you do. I don't know. They're who knows? Who the hell knows? And that's the best part about this. As a fan, who the hell knows what's going on? It makes it more compelling week in and week out. We'll find out one page at a time, one chapter at a time, where this book is going to end. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.